Hi friend, welcome back to another video in this cozy corner of the internet where we don't judge and we talk about real stuff. So on my Instagram, if you're not following me, you need to go follow. But on my Instagram, I asked you guys what topics you wanted me to cover in my YouTube videos, like what kind of videos you wanted to see, and a question and answer was requested. And so then I asked you guys for questions and I told you not to hold back. I told you that nothing was insensitive. You could ask anything you wanted to the depth of my soul, and you guys delivered. So today I'm answering your questions. Let's just get into it. First question, your top 5 memories of 2019. So my top 5 memories of 2019 would definitely be the ultrasounds of Witten. Those were really, really cool just to see him kicking inside of me and growing. And second would just be him kicking in general. All the moments that him and I had together were really, really special, just bonding. Third would be the summertime, just swimming and hanging out and getting ready for baby brother's arrival was super fun. His actual birth was an amazing experience, although it was extremely sad. It was a beautiful, peaceful experience that I will share in a future video. And then my 5th would definitely be all of the weddings we went to this year, or 2019, because we made some really awesome memories with our friends and I really, really enjoyed them and hanging out with everybody. I think we went to like 4 or 5 weddings or something, but it was really awesome. So those are my top 5 in no particular order. Next question. Who do you and Scotty want to see as the new Cowboys head coach? So when I got this question, I did ask my husband, Scotty, who he wanted to see, and I can't remember what he said because I really don't care. I think he said something about a guy named Chris. So a guy named Chris, he's gonna get mad at me that I didn't remember, but a guy named Chris, I'm guessing, I don't really know.
But anyone who can get us to the Super Bowl would be like, oh, really?
Next question. How has the passing of your son affected your relationship with Waylon? So for those that don't know, our son Winton was stillborn at 38 weeks and 4 days on August 16th, 2019. And then we have a 5-year-old son, Waylon. My son's death has affected my relationship with my living son in lots of different ways, positive and negative. The positive would be that I definitely don't take motherhood as for granted as I did before. I try to spend more time playing board games with him and saying yes more versus no. And I am just doing my best to be the best mom I can throughout this whole experience. But negative things that have affected our relationship is the fact that I have a ton of anger that I'm still processing and dealing with over Witten's death, a ton of anger, and it comes out of, sometimes through irritability and just being impatient with Waylon, and I don't like that, but I'm going to be completely honest, that has negatively affected the relationship more on my end. And so, obviously I'm working on that, but, yeah, it's been hard. There's just so many factors that go into, parenting a living child and a child who has passed, because you're trying to be there for your living child and have life continue as normal, but you're also trying to remember and grieve your child who has passed and all of the memories that you'll never make with them. And then you're also trying to help your living child grieve with the fact that death happens now, and they're learning that death is a permanent thing and it's scary for them. And so I've been taking him to therapy and I'm looking for a new therapist. But yeah, it's been a mixture. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's been all over the place. Next question, how is Waylon handling the big brother life? So
I love this question because in the question, nowhere does it mention the fact that his little brother died, and I just freaking love that because, I don't know, it's just nice to think that one day he'll be a big brother with a living sibling. I don't know, just makes me happy. But
Waylon is an amazing big brother. When Winton was born, you know, Waylon didn't really want much to do with him because he was obviously scared. And we didn't pressure him or anything like that. But you could tell he cared, and he asked a ton of questions, and you know, at the funeral asked questions, and you know, just was kind of like watching us and kind of figuring out on his own what was kind of going on and piecing it all together. But now he loves his little brother. He mentions him as much as he can, writes his name, Witten's name on things. He loves to include him, talk about him, talk to him, sing songs about him, and make up stories of what they'd be doing. And he is just an amazing big brother. And I don't want to cry, but like I can't wait for the day that he has a living sibling, because he's going to be really amazing, and he's an amazing brother to Witten, and it makes me really happy. I think God definitely blessed us with Waylon first for a reason, to help us through this time, because he has been just perfection. Next question. What is your best memory with Winton or of Winton? My best memory. There are two. So my best memory of him being in my tummy is just riding in the car. I'm tearing up. Just riding in the car and listening to music, because Winton loved to dance. He loved, like, especially when I put on Ariana Grande on the radio, like he was like kicking in there and he was having the best time. And there were just so many times I would take that time in the car to just talk to him, and we would dance to music, and he was just so active, and he just loved music. And so those are some of my best memories for sure. And also when he was born, although it was an incredibly sad birth to go through, knowing that, you know, I was giving birth to my dead child, it was so peaceful, and he was so beautiful, and I fell in love with him. Like, that mother bond, like, was like that the moment I set my eyes on him. He was so beautiful, and I wish he could have been here, and I wish I could have heard him cry and all of that. But it was still like the most beautiful, most peaceful birth, and that's one of my favorite memories, is just having that time with him and loving on him. Next question is, who is Winton in your eyes? From our bonding and getting to know him in the womb, he was definitely going to be a rebel. Like my husband, he was going to be a rebel, kind of a boundary pusher, definitely the wild child. And I was really looking forward to that, because Waylon, my first son, is so timid, like afraid of everything. He's a rule follower, which is great, but Witten, I could totally tell, was going to be the complete opposite, and he was just going to be running around doing whatever he felt like he wanted to do. And I was really looking forward to that energy, you know, that wild childness. And so I definitely see him now in heaven just causing lots of ruckus, not in like a mean-spirited way, but just like, that's just who he is just someone who likes to have fun and push the boundaries and make people laugh. And he's definitely his father's son. He was so active, way more active than Waylon ever was. So I definitely just see him as a little rebel in the cutest, innocent way possible. Next question. Why did you go with burial versus cremation? So at first I thought cremation, because I was like, oh, we'll just put him in an urn and have him in our house. But then I was like, no, I want a place to go and have to, that's like his resting place. And I know you can do that with cremation. But definitely after seeing him, after he was born, like I was not, Mama Bear came out and I was not about to have anyone cremate his body or mess with his body. I'm kind of wired in the way where like when you tell me something, I visually see it. So when you talk about cremation, I'm visually seeing the body going through that process, and that freaked me out. And I was like, you're not doing that to my son's body. He's going to stay whole, and he's going to stay perfect as he was born. And that's also why we did not get an autopsy done, and for other reasons. Our doctor kind of talked us out of it, but was because I was not gonna have anyone touch his body, and I don't want to say mutilate it because I know that they're being respectful, but I just wasn't gonna have anyone touch him and cut into him. Like that just was not happening to my precious baby boy. So we decided with burial, and he is buried in the same cemetery as my grandfather, who is who we named Witten after. So my grandfather is Johnny, and Winton, one of his middle names is John. So it's really cool that they're not together, but they're in the same cemetery. And so yeah, that's kind of why we decided with burial versus cremation. My husband was burial the entire time. He doesn't really care for cremation, but yeah, that's why I decided, or my thought process. Next question. Juice on being pregnant at 19.
This question needs its own video. So I got pregnant with Waylon at 19 years old, and it did not go well with family. So, with some family members. So I will be doing a whole entire video and like spilling all of the tea. It might get me into some trouble to bring back family drama, but I'm gonna create a whole video on being pregnant at 19 and how my family took it, and getting married at that time, and all the things that we did, because we had no jobs when we found out we were pregnant. We weren't married. Like it was a mess.
Next question. You and Scotty have been through a lot. Yes, we have. What do you do to keep your marriage positive and prevent lashing out when you're upset or needing your own time?
We don't prevent lashing out. But
through marriage counseling, we learned how to communicate better and efficiently, effectively. And then we also learned about our 5 love languages, which was huge. And it's really all about loving the other person the way they receive love, and them loving you the way you receive love. So that has definitely helped. And also, it kind of takes time. It took a few years. Like we're just now figuring out, and we've been married for almost 6 years. We're just now figuring out, like, okay, this is their high level, like when we just need to walk away from each other, or things are going to be said that are not the best. So we've kind of learned when to just walk away and be like, I'm not coming at you with my best, so I need to leave this conversation, leave the room, whatever, and kind of get some space. And yeah, those are definitely things that we've done. But yeah, we lash out, we fight, we have some really horrible moments, but you just learn through them. I mean, no marriage is perfect, and yeah, I mean, I don't really know how we're keeping it together.
I'm just kidding. I totally get it.
I think also one thing that has kind of made our marriage shift a bit was going through this experience of losing our son, because we have so much more empathy for each other. And if things are just too much for me and I'm like, I need a break from everything, I just say that now. And he's like, I get it. and he gives me a break, and vice versa. And we really, not getting in my head, don't really get into big fights anymore, because we've kind of learned that, I mean, fighting is just like pointless. Like, I don't know, we just have so much more love for each other because we're going through this really difficult time together. And so we've just been kind of a little more understanding, and we've been listening a lot more. And so this experience has definitely done some positive things for our marriage. I think majority of what it's done to our marriage has been very positive. Last question. Is there anything during the holidays that you wish people did or did not do regarding Witten? So these were our first holidays without Winton, and they were very, very rough, and I hated every second of them. But I will say our family was absolutely amazing, and they were amazing in including Witten. So they hung up his stocking, they made sure that he was included in pictures, or his name was always on the list along with all the other grandkids and cousins, or just along with the family. He was included so well by both sides of our family. So I don't think I would wish for anything else. I guess one thing I could say is that you don't have to be afraid, whether family or friends, to mention him. It doesn't make us sad, because we're sad all the time. And so you mentioning him isn't going to make us sad. We love talking about him, and we love talking about what he would be doing right now. It just really brightens us up whenever other people mention him, and mention him as our son. But definitely avoid, we do not care for the how are you doing questions, because it's like, how the F do you think I'm doing? So yeah, kind of avoiding those things. Like, we don't like the whole sympathy and pity type scenarios, but just including him as our son and things like that are really, really cool. So our family did amazing this year, and so I'm hoping that continues, because he will always be a part of our family. But I wouldn't say that there was anything that I wish was done differently. I think it was pretty awesome. Those are all of your questions. If you can relate to anything that I've said in this video, please like it so I know that you're here with me. And if there's any other questions that you have that you want me to answer, you can always just comment below and I'll comment back. And of course, I have tons of videos coming up. Definitely going to share the tea and the juice on being pregnant at 19, but I also have some videos about body image and just really how to make peace with yourself, and of course sharing Witten's birth story as well as Waylon. So definitely please subscribe and help a mama out so that you can kind of get told when new videos are coming up, you know. But yeah, I hope I answered your questions well, and I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.